Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of The Real MC. This week we have Tara Anderson. She is a hair extension specialist in BRL Salon and specializes in hand tied hair extensions. Kelsey Rodriguez. Hey babe. Kelsey is a nurse injector at MC Aesthetics, and she does everything from IVs to facials and Botox and fillers, all the things. Tanya. Hey, Tanya. Tanya Brown. Tanya is our holistic health guru at MC Aesthetics. I always say she's the glue that holds us all together up there. We're going to talk a lot today about the things that we do in that magical room. So this week, I want to talk about, we talked last week about quarantine and COVID and how different this year is. And I feel like it's a topic that we really can't exhaust right now. It's what we're all thinking about. It's affecting our day to day. And so you'll still see a lot of that in today's episode. Anxiety through quarantine and through this year, you've got a bunch of people holed up, bored, broke, stressed to the max, trying to homeschool their kids while they work 80-hour weeks. I mean, that's what my life looks like. And my kids, literally, if they did not go back to school, were going to be dumb and broken in about another week. My stress level was at its max. And I have anxiety that I didn't know was this bad because of this year. And so I've been doing a lot of work on myself, a lot of self-reflection, and really trying to get in there and work on that anxiety and stress. Tanya helps me with this a lot. So every week I alternate biofeedback with Reiki. I'm going to let Tanya kind of introduce us a little bit to both of those things. And we do incorporate meditation, and we have some really neat what do you call that, Tanya? Like where we're incorporating so many different things into one treatment, trying to address every aspect of your psyche, your soul, your body. Talk to us a little bit about what you're doing in that room, how biofeedback helps us, and explain a little bit about biofeedback and Reiki so people know what we're doing in there.
Biofeedback is hard to explain, but it is electromagnetic energy that travels through the body. We hook you up to connections on your head, your wrist, your ankles, and then it's connected to a machine, and it's painless. You just relax. Then electromagnetic energy travels through the body, and it picks up on imbalances in the system. So I can see where stress has affected your body. It doesn't diagnose disease. It doesn't do anything like that. However, it will show in areas that you need to work on. So it can also help with relaxation, stress. It monitors your breathing. It monitors how you're feeling, and it can teach us how to relax. It can show you how to relax. A lot of people don't know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, then you will eventually you'll have a disease, because all stress leads to disease. Reiki healing is energy healing. It's hands-on, hands-off. I have the opportunity to teach people how to meditate. Meditation is absolutely necessary, especially these days. It's the only way to connect with your higher self, to learn what you need to do. If you're not meditating, I can show you how. Reiki is a good way to help people learn how to meditate too. And then we do a new therapy called raindrop therapy, which all you do is it's amazing. So all you do is come in, relax, and allow me to use some essential oils. And not only do they help anxiety, stress relief, just helping you to chill, but they help kill bacteria and viruses in the body as well. So I do that, and I do a treatment with all of it together called Balance Your Being. And so we kind of incorporate every bit of it, and it takes almost 2 hours, and it's amazing. So it's just in these days we need to relax, and a lot of people don't understand that there's too much going on in the world right now for their brain to actually stop and chill, so that they can heal their body, not only just heal their body, but listen to their higher self. I mean, it even says in the Bible, be still and know I'm God. Well, there's a reason for that. And this day and time, no one knows how to be still. And I can help you learn how to do that, because some people think they're doing it when they're not actually doing it. So I love what I do. All of that helps us, balance ourselves and get healthy. You have to be healthy on the inside, spiritually and mentally, so that your physical being can be healthy.
So I usually, I either do the therapy where it's everything all at once with you, or I alternate weekly. So one week I'll do biofeedback, scan my body, see what's going on. And then the next week I'll follow up with guided meditation or Reiki. So the biofeedback machine, your body gets off on a cellular level as you age. Environmental factors, the way we live, what you put in, and just genetics. As you go along, your body being off, the frequency of your body being off on a cellular level, you don't see it for a long time, but as we advance in age, it catches up with you and your body starts to fall apart. Inflammation, stress, all of these things that cause our frequency of our body to be off on a cellular level. I love that biofeedback scans you, tells you what's going on. And y'all, this is so accurate. A couple of weeks ago, my lower eyelid was so sore that I couldn't even wear makeup on it, and my eye was watering. It hurt so bad. And whenever Tanya scanned me, it said I had a sty on my lower right lid or something. It was like so accurate that it blew me away. So it picks up on everything. Some of the things that it has picked up on are things that nobody else would even know about me. Well, now Tanya does, but and so it's really amazing to me. But I love that this machine also harnesses that frequency and tries to readjust it for you. So we can harness it and try to readjust it, and then follow up with your Reiki and meditation. And it's fun to scan the body after I've done Reiki and see how it improves. On every 2 weeks, I can see definite changes. A lot of what we find with biofeedback, it's more about getting ahead of your health. So it shows you precursors or things that you are more likely to have. And you can get ahead of that. If it's something with your liver, you start taking your milk thistle or whatever it is, but it's a way to get ahead of your health. And I feel like that the body, our faces, all of it, prevention is cheaper than correction. And it's cheaper to get healthy now than it is to be sick later. And so for me, that's what biofeedback is. And sometimes we find things that we have to send people in for a full panel. Sometimes there are things that we're like, something's going on, you need to get looked at. And so it's also a way to just kind of monitor your health. Tara, have I know you have a little bit of anxiety, mostly just when I'm coming at you with a needle or something, but have you done the biofeedback?
I haven't done biofeedback yet, but Tanya has worked on me with the Reiki healing. And I can say, coming from, a background where everything was just throw medication at it. I don't prefer the medication. It makes me kind of live in a fog. But doing one Reiki session with her was really amazing, because I did leave out of there feeling like something had been lifted from me. And I was really surprised at the things that, even she picked up on, just from working on me for that hour. And it's definitely something that I would recommend to people who do struggle with things like anxiety. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't know what our triggers are. And, even Tanya talking about, where my triggers stem from, and how the body kind of treats stress like a drug, and sometimes it's seeking it. And so there's times where I don't know why I'm having a panic attack, but she said, it's your body looking for, that hit that it needs, and you just need to ground yourself, and you need to meditate or come in here for a Reiki session with me. And that's worked pretty well. So it's definitely something I would recommend.
Always forget to unmute myself.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Why isn't she talking? Yeah, that's what it is for me. And I struggle so much with the disease of busyness.
Mhm.
And I hate to even say that, but honestly, this past year has taught me or shown me that I have a disease. And this is so sad. I don't want to admit this to y'all, but there was a moment when I walked into my living room one day and it was like midday. And I walked in and everybody started getting fake busy. Like I could see like they were like, oh God, we're just not doing anything. And mom's here. Like, oh my God, what do I do? And I thought, I'm stressing these people out. And honestly, I walked in mad at them for like, what, y'all just think y'all can just sit around and do nothing? You think it's just rest time? Like and I had to take a look at myself because they are not passing out trophies the last time I checked for who's the busiest. And I create work for myself that is so stupid, and I will find stress and I make these things that I have to do. And really, I should be sitting on the couch with my little kids, just holding them and being still. And so I have learned this year to stop being angry at other people for understanding that it's okay to rest whenever you want to, because you can. And I don't need to be angry because I don't give myself permission to not be busy. I don't give myself permission to rest. And so I had to take a long look at myself, and that disease of busyness is one of the reasons that I started working with Tanya in the first place, because I have trouble getting still. And, Tanya has taught me through Reiki and guided meditation. She's taught me how to meditate, but she's taught me that, your brain is busy traffic. It's constant. There are cars running back and forth all the time. Your job, even if it's 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, is to take yourself out of the traffic and just not care that it's happening. Go sit on the curb for a minute and remove yourself. And that's so important. Kelsey, whenever we first started doing some of these holistic things and biofeedback and Reiki, it's hard to transition from the medical world that we operate in to open yourself up to medicine that works in a different way. And I feel like at MC Aesthetics, we incorporate both the traditional and the holistic practices. We incorporate them to try to make something different and better for our patients. I would love your take on that and kind of what we're doing up there and some of the different ways that we're helping people.
Right. That is a big difference. Is like, I've always had problems with anxiety, and I tried medications, and like as a nurse, that's your first thought. But after being with Tanya, I go into her room and I just like word vomit everywhere, and she's like, okay, it's time for bio. Just getting back into her room like really gets me in the zone to where I can just sit there and relax and take a breather. And she has to remind me often that it's time to do that. And so telling our patients too, this is a good way to get away from the world and just relax you don't always medication to fix things. This is a good place to look at prevention, we're saying, just to prevent different diseases rather than going ahead and getting on some kind of medication that you really don't need at the moment, when you could do something holistic. Is going to be more healthy in the long run. So.
Yeah, I think we have a duty as humans to heal ourselves first without looking for Band-Aids. And the same for me in Tanya's room. It's just a good reset, and it's all the details for me with Tanya and her practices. It's the feathers, it's the bowls, it's the smell, it's the aromatherapy, it's her presence. And just the fact that I'm an absolute psychopath. And I think when I walk into a room, everybody goes, oh, because I have that energy. And Tanya has the exact opposite energy. It's a very calming, very soothing, let's don't get everybody worked up and cry kind of an energy. Tanya, I love, we worked together for 11, 12 years before we started working together the past couple of years. So I've watched you for 20 plus years, hone your craft of holistic healing. And I want to just say this, and first of all, I appreciate it, but I want to point out to everybody that education doesn't stop with our medicine, with hair extensions, with, PDO threads, Kels, and, same with the holistic healing and some of the more non-traditional practices that we're doing at MC Aesthetics. Tanya is somewhere every weekend for training, to learn. She reads incessantly. She never stops staying ahead of the curve and making sure that we are offering the latest and what we've decided is the most current way to non-traditionally heal our body. So thank you for staying ahead of that, Tanya, and always bringing the best of the best and the latest to MC Aesthetics and BRL.
I love it. And we're growing. I think that this is the time of awakening, and there's new stuff coming across the board scientifically, Christianity. It's an awakening in the world. And I would just advise everyone to keep an open mind. Don't be closed off, because it could inhibit you from healing. So just come and see me. I'll help you.
You know, and a lot of the times, Tanya, whenever I'm doing Reiki, and I know we've talked about this before, but when I have trouble getting into my zone of, you know, just really taking myself out of that traffic, when I have trouble, there are a lot of times that I actually do. I'll just sit there and pray until I, you know, can find myself in that spot where I'm just not so worked up and I'm really tuned in. And for me, that's where I do grow spiritually. It's in your room, because like I said, I'm taking that hour to just talk to, you know, think, be with myself, talk to my God, get a good reset. And it just gives me better perspective. And I walk out of the room, like Kelsey said, with a lightness and just a different energy.
Yeah, you have to slow down. You have to ask the universe questions. If you want something done, ask the universe, ask your maker. And then you have to be still and listen to the answers. And you would be shocked at how your life will change, honestly. Our brains are like, honestly, I know y'all have heard this before, but our brains are like drunk monkeys on crack, for real. I mean, you're thinking about what you have to do, what your kids have to do, what political stuff's going on, what's happening right now. You know, people aren't making the money they used to make, or it's just bombarded. The only way that you will understand or move forward in your life is to stop, pray, meditate, and ask questions. Ask questions, because your higher conscience will answer them. But you gotta slow down, and a lot of people don't know how. And some people think they're doing it when they're really not. So, I mean, it's a process, and it takes practice, and it's a daily thing. Even if it's 10 minutes, like you said, even if it's 10 minutes, do it. Just take the time, get on your knees, say a prayer, whatever you have to do. Stop your brain for a minute and just allow it to not be going 90 miles an hour.
Well, and I guess if it's, you know, a drunk monkey on crack, I mean, it's cheaper than Xanax and booze for sure, and way healthier for you. And so it's the better option, guys.
It is a better option.
I want to talk a little bit about social media. So, like we've talked about how this year's been nuts. It has affected every aspect of our lives, of our businesses, of our homes. It's definitely affected social media. We talked about this a little bit last week, but today I want to talk about how important social media is to your business, particularly if you are a small business, well, any business. So I feel like I'm that age where, and in that place with my social media relationship, where I'm like a little bit too cool for Facebook because I know how to Instagram, but I'm too old to TikTok, you know? Like that's where I live. And so I don't TikTok. I try to be good about Instagram. We try to keep, you know, current content out there for you guys and keep you guys in the know. But I just want kind of your personal opinion on social media right now when we are all stuck at home. We're not out and about a lot. We're not traveling. And so we're scrolling. You know, talk to me, you know, just a little bit about Kelsey, and you can kind of start, but I will tell you, what do we talk about every week at MC Aesthetics and BRL? Every week. It's
always social media. I mean, like you said, we're always right now we're on our phones constantly. So if you're not posting, people aren't seeing your marketing, you're not getting people in the door, and that's the bottom line. I mean, that's where everyone's at. So if you want to reach a certain community or different people, that's how you're gonna have to do it, you know. I know a lot of people don't want to hop on board, but you just have to do it. That's where we're at right now.
I love your generation, Kels, and the fact that you're not like, I'm kind of scared to like put myself like, as far as I'm not scared about what I say or do, I'm just scared to do it. The technology part of it is kind of overwhelming for me. Kelsey kind of heads our social media a lot at MC Aesthetics. She does such a good job with it. Keeps us current, keeps us relevant. But 100%, Kels, if you're not on your social media game right now, you are falling behind. Business, is down. We're having to fight a little bit harder for it. And, we're small businesses at the end of the day. And so, Tara, you do such a good job with social media. There is never a day that I get on my phone and Tara doesn't just pop right up. She's doing something. It might be a bun demo in her bathroom, but she's on there and she's relevant and she's doing the work. She's taking the pictures. She's making the videos. Talk about that a little bit, Tara, and just what that is for you and how important that is to your business.
So, I'll really put it like this. I have a friend who got back in the hair game, and she's been doing hair as long as I have. But it was really hard for her to start attracting, more clients. And, I'm like, but your Instagram is non-existent and your Facebook is dead. And what are you doing as far as putting that out there? I remember like 14 years ago getting out of hair school, and we would buy, radio advertisements, newspaper advertisements. We were passing out cards at restaurants and at banks, and those things are completely irrelevant now. So it doesn't matter how great of a hairdresser you are if no one sees it. And everyone, even your grandma, is on Facebook, because trust me, mine is. So, it's just, people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is they turn off their alarm on their phone and they open Facebook or they open Instagram, whatever it is. And if you're the first thing that they see, then they remember, oh yeah, I need to book that hair appointment. Oh yeah, I need to go get my Botox done, whatever it is. But the other great thing is that you can really showcase what your strengths are. For me, I'm just slinging hair all day long. And what I want to showcase is, our extensions, because that's what I love doing. So if you are a colorist and that is your jam and that's what you want to do all day, every day, then it's pictures, it's videos, it's tips and tricks, it's all of the things. And you know what? Your clients love to see themselves on your feed too, because they come to you for a reason. But everybody likes to see themselves on camera. Everybody likes to see themselves on social media. And so it's a great way to keep people coming back. They also know that you're relevant. They don't want to go to, Betty's Bobbin Shop where, it's a bunch of old ladies underneath the dryer all the time. They want to see, that you are continuing your education, that you are using new techniques, and that they're getting to benefit from that. That's one of the biggest things about being able to showcase your work on something that people see all day long. But you've got to stay in there, because you miss a couple of days on there and you've missed a couple of opportunities where someone was like, oh yeah, well, I had time to go in there, but now I don't. So you've just got to stay on top of those kinds of things. And it doesn't matter how great you are unless somebody knows about it.
I'm real bad about, being too busy for my social media. It is not always easy. And I have to literally schedule time sometimes I have to go hide in my closet and post something. I have to lock 2 doors where I can still hear them and they distract me, and hide by my long dresses where my hiding spot is, where maybe they won't sniff me out, and get that post done. It's not, you've got kids, Tara, you're a working mom. Is it always easy to get that content? Is it always convenient?
No, it's not. Those videos you were talking about of me in my bathroom doing bun tutorials, I literally locked myself in the bathroom for those, but I thought I need to make a couple of videos. I have clients who always comment, oh, when you wear that messy bun, that's so cute. How do you do it? And I'm like, girl, it takes 5 seconds. But even putting that out helps our MC clients where they've purchased this hair and they're like, I've never had hair before. What do I do with it? Well, let me show you what to do with it. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it. That way you don't get stressed out and think, oh, what have I done? Maybe this is too much, But no, yeah, sneaking away and locking yourself in a bathroom, I totally get that.
Yeah. And, Tanya, Kelsey, I know I cry and rap about social media every week, and y'all are all so good at it, but it is a struggle. It's not always easy for us at work to get that content. It's that extra step in your day. and people want to, like Tara said, people don't always, from a business aspect, they don't always want to hear you tell them about something. Sometimes they need that visual of the how to. They need to see you do on someone else before they're game for themselves. And we see that with everything else, PDO threads, Botox. We try to get on there and keep you guys educated, and education and tips and how-tos and aftercare and all of that stuff. It's so important for the success of everything we do at that facility. Do you feel, Kelsey, like, well, we know that videos get twice the clicks that pictures get, right? But every time we do a video, and you're so good, and that's why I want to ask you, do you feel like those videos are game changers? And how, from your perspective, because I'm curious, because sometimes I feel like I won't post for 2 or 3 days, and then I'll just put a whole bunch of crap up at once. And how am I supposed to be doing that? Are you supposed to have a post up a day, one story a day? Like, what's right now with Instagram, for example, what should we be doing? Like, what is the protocol right now?
Well, like you said, I think our videos do really well because getting to sit there and actually watch what we're doing, not just the before and after, is interesting to people. People want to see that. I like to sit there and watch videos rather than just a before and after. So I do think just keeping yourself on your toes, like reminding yourself, hey, we're about to do this. If I can record it real quick, get a little snippet and be able to post that for the day and show people what we're doing and how we're doing it, that's interesting. And then stories, of course, people will sit there, and you just go through all your stories one by one. So it's a way to keep it going and people keep your page relevant. I mean, have people coming to look back, and then you see a story, you can click on the page and then see everything else. So stories are just as important, I think, just to keep the business going.
Absolutely. And Tanya, I think it's so important in your room and with procedures and treatments of that nature, because people don't know a lot about it. They don't know the ins and outs or why they're going. And I think that when you hear things like biofeedback or Reiki and you've never heard that before, it's kind of daunting. And you're like, well, that's for other people. No, it's for everybody. And you need this anxiety, depression, all the things going on. But even our RF treatments, people don't even realize that we have so many body treatments. Talk a little bit about DermaShape real quick. And we've been putting that on social media a lot. And that's one of the reasons I want to talk about that today, because every time I feel like sometimes we forget about something for a minute, we kind of focus on something else. And the second you revisit it and remind people that you've got it, the floodgates open. DermaShape, T.
DermaShape, it's lymphatic drainage. So it's done with a glass cup, but not to be confused with the cupping. It's very different. Not very different, but it's different. It's working the toxins and the fat off of the body in the direction that your lymphatic flows naturally when you work out. So not only does it help lose weight, inches, it's amazing for cellulite, but it's amazing for your body. So I work on a lot of fibromyalgia clients and lupus clients because basically these people have toxin buildup in their body and they don't realize that it's in the lymphatic system. And so to get even one treatment, I can give them some relief, and we can turn it like the suction. It's a suction manually glide off the body. It feels good. It's like a massage. It's actually really, I would prefer to have it rather than a massage. So some people think, well, is it painful? It's not painful at all. And I can turn it really, really low, or I can turn it high. If you're trying to lose weight, we can go as high as you want. I've never, ever worked on anybody where my machine was maxed out. So you can do it at 0 all the way to 100, but it's an amazing treatment. If you've never had one, you need to do one because it's worth it, and it's extremely healthy for the body.
Yeah, I do that for lymphatic drainage. I've done it with you for probably 12, 13 years. I have like these thighs that just won't quit. And so Tanya helps me with that procedure to smooth out some of my little dents and bumps and stuff on my thighs. but it is great for cellulite. She does a combination treatment with fascia therapy to kind of loosen the fascia and smooth cellulite with the combination of DermaShape. So it's wonderful. It's also really, really good and strongly advised post-op lipo. So if you are post-op and you do not do this treatment, the chances that you're going to have some inconsistency and texture and not quite the smoothness that you desired, they're pretty high. But with DermaShape, you heal much faster and you recover much more quickly, and it looks better when you get to that end game. So definitely something you want to incorporate at 4 to 6 weeks post-op for sure, if not sooner.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit, everything we do at MC Aesthetics, BRL with the Real MC hair extensions, these are all aftermarket accessories. So not things that your mama gave you, things that we are intentionally doing to enhance what we've got. So hair extensions, I mean, I wasn't born with, 3 feet of fabulously blonde hair. I don't even remember what my lips used to look like. I mean, I'm not sure what color my hair is. I've got lashes on my nails. And so that's, the aftermarket accessories, which is what we focus on up there outside of Tanya's room. And I want just whoever has something to say here. I know, Tara, we talked a little bit about some of the ridiculous things that people were doing at home, but, these things are great in moderation. Kind of a how far is too far approach, and what are people doing that is outside of that?
Well, I mean, I can say from personal experience, either having the people come into the salon with the mess they created at home, that it's important for women to feel pretty. I mean, and it doesn't matter if you're just cooped up in the house or if you do have somewhere to go. In fact, I kind of think it's worse if you're at home because you have more time to like sit there and stare at yourself in the mirror and, oh, look at that wrinkle right there. And, oh, I've got all these gray hairs here. And, like for me and Marcy, it's like, oh, and I only have 6 hairs to rub together. I need hair extensions. And so you get all these people that get really bored and they start trying things that they've seen on YouTube or these weird pop-ups that come on Facebook. People try to put highlighters in their hair to try and, oh, look, I can get blue and it'll wash out. And then sometimes it doesn't. I mean, there's all kinds of, I saw somebody had put blue toothpaste in their hair trying to get it to turn blue. I mean, there's some things, there are some things, and people get bored at home and their anxiety gets to them, and all of our aftermarket stuff that makes us feel pretty. It's like, if we can't go out and get it, I feel like people were trying to create it at home, and that's a little bit scary. So that might be taking it a little far. I can tell you that honestly, if you'll just leave it to the professionals, it's a lot cheaper in the long run. If you will not put that box of color on your hair that you're gonna hate, that's not going to give you the results that you want. It may not cover your gray. And I guarantee you, if you have very dark, pretty brown hair and you buy a box of this illustrious blonde, you are going to be irch. You're not even, I mean, like, it's going to be worse than this color. Okay. You're not going to be blonde like that lady. And then they call us crying because I don't know what to do with my hair. It's so much cheaper in the long run. And it looks so much better if you will let the professionals handle that.
Same, girlfriend. We have seen some crazy stuff on the MC side too. I love Tara. Tara can, honey, get on a soapbox about some box dye and some highlighters. She had me rolling one day about box dye. Don't do it because, like she said, it's going to cost you twice as much to look somewhat human, and you're never going to look like you would have looked for less money had you just let the professionals handle it. Kels, talk about kind of that topic and what we see over on our side.
Well, I guess just with everyone in quarantine, we had the rush of everybody coming. It's like, my Botox is way past due. Like, I went over here, but I didn't get enough here, and just fillers. Everybody wants everything all at once now, which is great. But we also have to, as an injector too, tell people the certain time that you need to wait between different treatments and how much you can put in at one time. Like, we can't sit there and put 4 syringes of lip filler in your lips because you haven't been in 2 years. We can't do that. But I think people coming in and wanting to do your Botox or your fillers or your threads or your hair, whatever makes you feel good about yourself, you're going to do better in whatever you're doing. If you feel like you look good and you feel good, you're going to do better. So I think it's really important to keep up with things like that and things that just make you happy.
T.
Let's making sure my mute was off. I feel the same way. I think that people are trying to do weird things at home instead, because they're scared to come in or whatever. And I would like to say that I guess we need to let people know how safe we are in our clinic and how we do take care of being very, very germ-free, sanitary, and all that, and let them know that it's safe to come in. Because we take very, very good care. We don't leave someone in the waiting room with a lot of people. Things like that are important to let people know about, because I think that they don't know how to ask. And so I think it's up to us to let them know that it's very safe, and we really are being very careful.
Well, I think
it goes to show. Sorry, Marcy, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Flip your.
I think it goes without saying that, on y'all's side, y'all are medical professionals. Of course, you guys are always disinfecting. You're always, but what a lot of people don't realize is that with the licensure that the hairdressers hold over on the BRL side, our licensure is, 85% infection control. And we were doing that before there was ever a pandemic. And so, we're keeping everything EPA'd, we're wiping everything down. We don't have extra guests in there. Right now, we're not seeing children unless they're having a service done. So our numbers are low too. And most of the hairdressers, we're at least 6 feet apart anyways. And so we don't want anyone to feel like that they have to go without their self-care as far as, their beauty regimen goes, just because they think that it's going to be in a crowded area, because it's really not.
No, Tara, flip your phone. You're sideways.
Am I?
Yeah, it's sideways. There you go. Yeah.
Am I better now? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So 100%. I love that y'all are saying that. And I think just as a nurse, like, I just assume that people know to wash their hands and sanitize and disinfect and scrub that table down. And I guess because that's my nurse brain and that's how I operate every day. Like you said, Tara, that's your routine anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that a lot of men realized pre-quarantine that you're supposed to wash your hands. Like you're just supposed to wash your hands. If you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands. You eat, you wash your hands before you do. I think this has been very eye-opening. not fingers. I'm just saying. But talking about how far is too far, I do want to say this. We are a small facility. We're a very close facility. We're a very fluid facility. So we try to do things along the same lines and have that quality control in place. And there is such a thing as too much. You can go too far with your aftermarket accessories, whatever it is. And I'd like to dress like Randy Savage, and never met fur or fringe I didn't love, and I love red lips. And so I'm that personality that like rides the fence anyway. But we will tell you if it's too far. If you want to do something ridiculous, we're not going to do it up there. I don't want my name on it in the first place if it doesn't look good. But for you, as the patient, our patients don't always know what's best for them or what they need. And sometimes it really is our job to steer them in that direction. Like Kelsey said, we're not putting 4 syringes in there today. Let's start with 1 today and let's see how you feel in a couple of weeks. And then we can consciously layer that filler in. So and I just want to hit on that. We have a few patients that we've had to put on filler band before, and then we let them out when they were due. But we will tell you. And so you can go too far. I see it all the time. Your lips should not walk into the room before you do. It matters. And so make sure that you're going to someone who's going to keep you within those boundaries of what looks good and you still look like you and natural, but just an enhanced you without going too far. So it is Thanksgiving week. It's different this year. Christmas is going to look different too. Thanksgiving is, I want to kind of hear from you guys about just how this year is different for you, how you perceive your Christmas to be different. And, it's Black Friday, your Black Friday shoppers. Some people are like hardcore. They're going to have to do it from their couches this year, which I'm fine with because that's where I was going to do it from anyway. But just kind of everybody chime in and just kind of tell me what that looks like for you and your family this year versus prior years.
I know
I can remember doing Black Friday. Go ahead, Tanya.
Well, I was just going to say for myself, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And my son just recently married, and I did tell him before he got married, okay, there's one holiday I have to have, and that's Thanksgiving. So let her know that right now. So it's always been huge at my house. I've done it at my house with my whole family for 7 straight years. And this year will be the first year that we only have, us. So it'll be just me and my son and his new wife. And my grandmother's 91, so of course she can't be there. My mom just had surgery. She's 70. She can't be there. So it's kind of, it's a little depressing, I think. It's not going to be like it usually is. It's like times are changing. So yeah, it's not the same for sure. It's going to be just a little bit different. So it's kind of sad.
Yeah, basically going off what Tony said, we're doing the same thing here. We're not getting all together with our whole extended family like we usually do. We're just doing me, my mom and dad, my brothers, my fiance, and then the same thing on his side. So it's really weird. It's depressing. Half my cousins had babies this past year, so we can't all really get together and we don't get to really see them. So it sucks, but I'm excited that my brothers get to come home and I get to spend some time with them. So just try to make the best out of it.
So at my in-laws' house, we are actually going to be having Thanksgiving dinner outside by the pool so that we are in the open air. And we're lucky to have my sister-in-law and her husband in town from LA. They've been here for a couple of months now. So it'll be a little bit of a bigger crowd over there, but that's kind of nice too. We've really enjoyed having them. But yeah, getting to do it outside and in the open air is definitely different from all of the other years. So I'm just hoping it's not as windy as it is today.
So, for us, we are in every year, Thanksgiving for me, we're kind of grounded to Midland. Garrett plays football, and so he's always in the playoffs or right around playoff time. And so we will just be in town. We have one day that he does have practice on that day as well. So we have 0 days where Garrett doesn't have practice, and then a game the day after. So we usually sit kind of close to home, and we're going to go to my in-laws. And I am such a loser this year. I don't know, like I can't get into the holiday spirit, I guess, because of, how things are. I ordered my food. I like to cook. I'm a good cook. And I ordered all of the food to take over there. I wasn't even cooking it myself this year. I have such bad, it's like road rage in the store, Tara. And so when you were talking about, you said something about Black Friday earlier, and I know that you're a hardcore Black Friday shopper. If I had to Black Friday shop, we would have to have me committed immediately soon after. I haven't been to the grocery store, HEB, in like 6 years because I can't shop like that. So my husband goes to the store so that I don't end up in prison. So this year I didn't even bother with that. So it does look a lot different this year. Tara, has that affected like your tradition and like what you and your mom do?
Yes, very much. That used to be, everyone likes to watch the football games at Thanksgiving, but my mom and I like Black Friday shopping. That is our football game. Okay. So, I mean, even when I was big and pregnant with my 2 big kids, I mean, we still went. I still waited in that cold line outside of Target. I still waited in the line at Old Navy that was all the way to the back of the store. I would just sit down in line, you know, and then maybe somebody would feel sorry for the big fat pregnant lady. But it was like, no, I was going to go get my $5 fleeces for the 17 million people in my family, you know. So yeah, this year it's going to be really different. I know I've been getting a million emails from all the different stores about online Black Friday and them extending Black Friday to all month. And so right now I'm going to focus on trying to stick to the list and also hiding the boxes from my husband.
Always hide the boxes. If Cody ever looks in my closet under my long dresses, well, now he will, but maybe you won't watch that part. Maybe you'll get tired before the end of the podcast. But if he ever looks under there, I'm screwed. I'm going to have like 10 minutes to pack all my crap and leave the country. Okay. It's like my credit card statement. We ain't playing. It's going to get real. So, well, yeah. So we aren't in stores. People aren't going to be going physically shopping. So how does that look for small businesses? I mean, small businesses are going to have to change the way they do their holiday marketing, shopping, all of that, because Christmas, you know, the day after Thanksgiving, your pre-Christmas sales, that's a lot of your money in a year. You know, you get real busy that last quarter. So, you know, some of the things that we're doing, and chime in anybody, you know, other suggestions, but, you know, we're going to do an online gift card sale, you know, because people aren't wanting to go even stop by and pick up things as much. People are buying a lot more, you know, retail on our side. Tara, I would love your feedback, but we're doing gift cards and we're heavy marketing online because that's just where it is right now. And if you are a small business, you know, that's why the social media, but you've also got to give people another way to shop. And so if that is just a gift card that you mail to, whatever that looks like, the, you know, contact less, I guess, is the goal this year. So
a lot of people are opting to pick things up where they already are. And so I feel like for my clients, especially this year, my retail sales are way up right now because they're already sitting in my chair and they're like, oh, and you have those box sets for Christmas. You know, I can get some stocking stuffers for my kids. I can get a box set that looks nice already and I don't really have to wrap it, you know. And then gift cards. Gift cards are always great. And, you know, small businesses got hit so hard this year that honestly, it better suits our community and the people that you know and love, either behind a chair or, you know, at your local florist or a bakery or whatever, to purchase things from them during the holidays, because so many of us have gotten shut down. You know, a lot of people have gone through life savings to try and keep their businesses open and everything else. And, you know, Ulta and Sephora are great, but when you can get those products from your hairdresser, products from your esthetician, products from MC Aesthetics, whatever that looks like to you, while you're already there, it's a win-win. You know that those people are going to continue to thrive as best that they can in these conditions, and that you're going to continue to get to see them, because there's a lot of businesses that aren't getting that chance right now.
yeah, well, you know, Ulta and Sephora aren't going to come to your house and feed your children, you know.
No.
So I think that's a really huge point right now for all of us. Instead of getting online and going to those big retail stores that we typically go to, look smaller and look close to home. Shop local, shop small, because this year it matters like in a way that it has not ever mattered before that I've been alive. So it's different this year, and it is helping our local families have Christmas and making sure that they have food on the table. And so I think that's a very, very important thing to say right now, Tara. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming on today and for coming on every week and chatting. I love our facility.
Marcy, I wanted to add one thing. There is, in my room, I can do online appointments just as much as I can do in my room. I mean, Reiki, biofeedback, the stress relief treatments I can do online. I just wanted everybody to know that they don't even have to come in, that we could set an appointment and we could do FaceTime, or I could get them situated and then do the Reiki or whatever. If they're not comfortable with coming in, I can do it online as well. So
I love that. And I have actually taken advantage of that whenever I've traveled. If I was going to be gone for a minute or I had to miss my Tuesday before I left, we've done it remotely before. and it's very effective. I feel like I got the same treatment out of it, as long as I personally could make sure I did my part and get still and get quiet and take care of the things on my end. And if I do that, it's amazing, and I don't have to miss my appointments. And so 100%, especially during the holidays where, you know, we're close Thanksgiving week, we'll have a kind of a dead time around Christmas too. So, and anxiety, depression, stress, all of those things kind of skyrocket when you have family around. So probably a good time to remote Reiki. Thank you for reminding me of that, Tanya. And I even forget sometimes when I go on vacation, and I'll have to like text like, I forgot I can actually still get my appointment in. But we'll be on every week talking about just what's going on, what we do at our facility, what's new. I thank you girls for bringing our break room to YouTube. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see y'all next week.